It was a cool autumn morning when I received yet another audacious demand from the HOA. They wanted me to sell my ranch. Karen, the ever-assertive HOA president, had convinced herself that her organization could take control of my property because it supposedly fit the community vision. I knew immediately that this was another overreach. My ownership of the ranch was clear, documented, and unassailable. Yet Karen's insistence meant that I had to respond decisively to protect my property and assert my rights. The demand was delivered via an official-looking letter, filled with legal jargon and threats of fines and liens. The language was intimidating, designed to make me doubt my own authority. But I had anticipated this kind of behavior. I calmly reviewed the letter alongside my property deeds, survey maps, and local county records. Everything confirmed what I already knew. The ranch, including all land, buildings, and water rights, was entirely mine. The HOA had no legal standing to demand its sale. I decided that a direct and strategic response was necessary. First, I drafted a formal rebuttal, citing every legal document and ordinance that confirmed my ownership. I included survey records, property tax filings, and water rights documentation. The letter was clear. Any attempt to force the sale of my ranch would be considered illegal and actionable under local, state, and federal law. Next, I took steps to reinforce the property itself. Gates were upgraded, fencing reinforced, and surveillance cameras installed to monitor any attempts at intrusion. The ranch, a sprawling piece of land with multiple access points, now had multiple layers of security, ensuring that no one could enter without being immediately detected. Karen, predictably, did not respond well. She tried to rally her board and some neighbors, spreading rumors that I was somehow violating HOA rules. I anticipated this and had already prepared a legal brief demonstrating that the HOA had no authority over the ranch. Any attempt to enforce rules on my property was not only invalid but also potentially criminal. The turning point came when I discovered that Karen and some board members had been planning to approach the county with a false claim, hoping to initiate legal proceedings to force the sale. I moved quickly. I contacted my attorney, provided all documentation, and preemptively filed a declaration of property rights with the county. This action officially established my ownership, making any attempt by the HOA to force a sale both legally impossible and immediately challengeable in court. When Karen realized her plan had been thwarted, her reaction was predictably dramatic. She tried to intimidate neighbors into supporting her, but the documents I had provided made it clear that she had no standing. Any further attempts to pressure me would be met with immediate legal action. Her credibility plummeted, and neighbors began distancing themselves from her tactics. Over the following weeks, I took additional measures to ensure the ranch was fully protected. Signage clearly marked all property boundaries, new locks and reinforced gates secured every access point, and the surveillance system was upgraded with motion detection and real-time alerts. Karen's repeated attempts at intimidation became irrelevant. Any interference would be recorded, reported, and acted upon immediately. The incident also served as a lesson to the surrounding community. Private property rights, when backed by documentation, legal action, and preparation, cannot be undermined by entitlement or manipulation. Karen had underestimated the strength of my authority and the readiness with which I would defend my property. By the end of autumn, the ranch was secure, my ownership uncontested, and Karen's influence within the HOA severely diminished. The letters, threats, and intimidation tactics had all failed. My family and I could enjoy our property without fear of harassment, confident that any future attempts by the HOA would be met with swift and decisive action. The ranch stood not just as a home and livelihood, but as a symbol of resilience, preparation, and the absolute power of lawful property rights. Karen had learned, once again, that arrogance and entitlement cannot overcome preparation, legal authority, and unwavering resolve.